What's up, guys? It's Nick with Two Brothers Comics, and today we're going to be talking about our Amazing Spider-Man. As you know, I'm reading all of the Amazing Spider-Man. So far, it's been really good. But this week, I have one phrase that sums up the week. Gerry Conway. Now, I'm saying that because why would you kill Gwen Stacy? Gwen Stacy was becoming my favorite character. I guess my favorite supporting character. Why would you kill her? And I know... No, I don't know. She was awesome. I genuinely thought she was getting really good. I actually liked the way Gerry Conway was writing her, and you killed her. So that's my first thoughts. Why would you do it? Now, back it up a little bit. Relax, Nick. Relax. Right now I'm on issue 124. I am behind by about 2 days. I'm kind of sad about that because I'm so close to getting to the Punisher, and I'm behind. But as you guys know, if you've been a fan of the channel long enough, you know this past year we've been really working towards a house. This weekend basically was surrounded around getting this house a little bit prepared, going out looking for houses. It was just a consuming weekend, but I'll be back on track next week, no problem. And I am enjoying this so much. I think this is my favorite week of the Amazing Spider-Man so far. The storylines are getting so rich. The art is fantastic. I'm loving Gil Kane and John Romita kind of combo in there. I'm really actually enjoying Gerry Conway's writing. It's interesting. It's a little bit different, but I'm enjoying it. These storylines are so much better than they have ever been, quite frankly. I also really hate Doc Ock. I think he is such a Weasley little thing. I think his character kind of sucks. And the whole writing of like Doc Ock being attracted to Aunt May and Aunt May like being a live-in nanny for Doc Ock is totally weird to me. Don't like that a bit. And also, the Green Goblin, right as they were getting good, boom, killed him. Now, of course, I'm sure he'll be back very soon, very quickly, because, well, nobody ever actually dies in comic books unless it's Ben Parker. That's wrong. But what I will say is I'm really, really enjoying where we're at. It's finally feeling more like the best part of Spider-Man. Every single time I'm reading it, every new story, every arc, I'm really becoming more and more of a fan of Peter Parker, feeling what he's kind of going through of this young kid just trying to make some money, trying to keep a girl happy, trying to watch out for his Aunt May, trying to protect everybody, and he can't tell anyone what he's doing. And the only person that knows wants to kill him. And I loved that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man showed that exact scene as when Green Goblin died. I loved that. I thought that was such a cool moment because I didn't realize how much they actually ripped that right out of the comic books. Gwen Stacy's death, still hated that. Definitely still hated that. But I did think it was pretty cool how when we've seen it in the movie, it was somewhat similar. But yeah, I'm finally feeling like we're starting to get into some of the best storylines. I really, again, I think we talked about this last week. Morbius and that whole fight scene was pretty cool. The 6-armed Spider-Man, that was pretty cool right off the thought of my head. But we're like a full decade into Spider-Man now, which is kind of crazy to say, a full decade into it. It's very interesting. And if you guys have ever read Spider-Man, or you started reading it around this time, what are your thoughts and how was it your experience reading this? Because I'd really like to know that as well if you're doing a read along with me. It's so interesting how it's changed in my perception and my feelings of Peter Parker and Spider-Man in the comics and even the villains because, I think Doc Ock still is a terrible villain, but I wasn't a huge fan of Green Goblin not too long ago, and now I think, wow, Green Goblin's actually really cool. Gwen Stacy didn't care for her much, and now you know how I feel about that, the fact he killed her. Yeah, that sucked. One thing I've been a huge fan of is the fact they keep bringing Hulk into this. They're fighting on a dam, stuff like that. I'm really loving that because I'm getting to experience some really awesome Hulk storylines while reading Spider-Man. I love it whenever they're bringing in Kazor, stuff like that. That exposure to other characters I've never read and may not get a lot of time to read in the future. The fact I'm still getting some Spider-Man is getting that with Spider-Man is fantastic. This was also the first time that Gibbon was introduced, was this week. A very interesting character, very strange. It would be very interesting to see how he is on the MCU. So, and if you're a fan of Reggie Clark's channel, it's all about the Gibbon gang over there. So it was pretty neat to actually go through, read through the comic book, see what it's about. And I honestly didn't expect him to have such a big story arc. And he had a pretty solid story arc in there. But other than that, I don't think there was any major noticeable villains. And I'm trying to look at this point. It's this weird Doc Ock Aunt May storyline I hated. Killing Gwen Stacy, you suck. Look, I'm talking about all these negative things that I'm not liking, but yet I said this was my favorite week of ASM so far. So maybe they're doing something right. But guys, let me know what you think down in the description below. Hopefully during the video you'll have seen some of my favorite scenes or some of my screenshots. I don't think there's one that necessarily stuck out to me other than the Gwen Stacy death and Gwen Goblin death this week. And I'm so pumped to get to see the Punisher next. I hope he's everything I hope he, want him to be. If not, I'll just keep thinking of the Garth Ennis run as, peak Punisher there. Guys, you're the best part of Tubular Comics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it out. And as always, collect your way.